What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. Got a special one for y'all today. What's up, Alexis? Y'all come on in. Yeah, I'm doing good. How about yourself, Alexis? Y'all come on in. What's up, Blake? Y'all come on in. What's up, Diana? Y'all come on in. We're gonna get started. What's up, Desiree? We'll give him another minute, y'all, and we'll get started. How about that? They come in when they come in. All right. How about we begin? How about we get started? Now, what inspired this lecture was I went to go see the movie Just Mercy. You know, Brian Stevenson, the lawyer that came down from Delaware in the 80s to set up shop and become the first death row lawyer that Alabama has ever had, in a way. What's up, Sandra? That Alabama has ever had, in a way. So, of course, he went through hell. You see what I'm saying? Especially in the late 80s in Alabama. Now, what's going on here? He's defending different death row cases, and then he gets to John D., who was played by Jamie Foxx, and he find out that this man innocent. You see what I'm saying? This man innocent. He ain't did nothing wrong. He didn't kill anybody. So he takes on his case. Now, what inspired this lecture is I'm watching the movie, seeing jail cells, seeing the homies in prison, and the Anunnaki energy triggered inside him. You get to see a bird's eye view of what they meant by slave race for the Piscean energy. You see what I'm saying? Our variation of the slave race. You see what I'm saying? Cause there were different generations, of what they term slave. You see what I'm saying? So in the movie, they show you how they're slaves. You see what I'm saying? They've been enslaved by the legal system or legalese. You see what I'm saying? Legalese is this false corporate United States corporate energy that's got us all locked down, right? So Jamie Foxx goes so far as to say you don't know what you into down here in Alabama when you guilty from the moment you born. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we talking about when we said the slave race. You see what I'm saying? And how we slaves in their eyes. They have a particular legal doctrine that's called civilis mortuus, which means you're dead in the eyes of God. But what God? You see what I'm saying? What God? What God eyes you will be dead in? You'll be dead in Yaldabaoth, the demiurge. You see what I'm saying? The archons. So you're in their eyes, because this is their legal system. In their eyes, the soul children, the soul brothers, soul sisters, and the indigenous people of the world are locked down. You see what I'm saying? They're dead in their eyes. You see what I'm saying? According to these legal systems across the planet. And it's like there's a civilis mortuus for every indigenous group on across the planet. You see what I'm saying? So this was this what they showing you here. This is they showing you here. Now, what makes this movie so cool or so special is not only did he win the case and help Freeman Boy, before Jamie Foxx or John D got out, he was teaching people meditation, especially first eye meditation. He had a friend in there, I just remember his last name being Richardson, who the Vietnam War had just fucked his mind up, right? So he was having PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but they locked him up because, he still thought he was at war, and so he created a bomb and planted it on somebody's house and blew the house up. Right, so that's what they put him on death row for. So he was losing his mind for the most part, and John D told him, "Hey, look here, remember, close your eyes, breathe, focus on nature and the force. You see what I'm saying? Inside you and around you, and let your mind be free." So he told you low key how to get out of this shit. Your mind is what frees you. When he learned to free his mind first while he was in jail, that's when the physical results of him getting free happen. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Joseph? What's up, Pebbles? That's when the physical manifestation of it happened, cause he used to be a woodcutter cutting down trees. So of course he was always in nature, regenerating, recharging, with the spiritual energy. You see what I'm saying? Always breathing, always sucking in that natural force. So what's going on here is he learned how to free his mind in this movie, and you seen the manifestation of that freedom of his mind in the legal victory. You see what I'm saying? He don't know that because he didn't have just knowledge of self and the metaphysics. But yes, he freed his mind through first time meditation. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They shows you how to free yourself. You got to free your mind. You got to free your spirit and soul. And the body will follow. I don't care what situation you're in. Especially if you know you haven't done anything wrong. You see what I'm saying? So when he learned to free his mind and focus on the force, focus on nature, and not allow it to be caged into the prison system, then that sent out a signal. So much so that it brought a lawyer from across the country, because he was in Delaware, so he was up north, all the way down here to help him get free. You see what I'm saying? So it was his energy. It was his energy that allowed him to. It was his force that sent out that signal that brought him to Alabama and eventually free him. And that would be one of the greatest civil victories of all time. You see what I'm saying? What's up, K.R.U.? That would be one of the greatest civil victories of all time in this case. In the country, because it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they overturned their conviction because it was a false accusation. He was in jail for 6 years, which is funny. He was in jail for 6 years. On the 7th year, which was his crown chakra, he got free. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. What's up, Octavio? So that's what's going on here. That's what you're seeing in this movie. You seeing, of course they downplayed it, with the drama and everything that was going on. But the most important thing is that scene where he taught Richardson how to free his mind, and he was showing you how he did it. And when he learned to free his mind, spirit, and soul, the physical followed, the body followed. You see what I'm saying? So he got free. Now his other homeboy that was next to him, he didn't practice that like he taught Richardson, and so he was in there for up to another 30 years. You see what I'm saying? He was in there for another 30 years until he got him free. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got going on here. So that's what you got going on here. So I was like, all right, just mercy. I see what they doing here. They tapping into the Anunnaki energy if you paying attention to it. You see what I'm saying? They tap into the Anunnaki energy. So who are the Anunnaki? The Anunnaki are pretty much the children of heaven and earth. You see what I'm saying? They pretty much tell you, who they are. They ask, are they real? Yeah, you real. Putin over there fighting a version of us. You see what I'm saying? They so-called trying to stage a fake alien invasion, but now everybody knows they're trying to stage a fake alien invasion. So, but no, those aren't aliens. Those are us. Aspect of ourselves who we're sending war gods from the future, futuristic protectors from the future. Like I told y'all in the first version of this, we're sending Anunnaki protectors from the future to fuck they shit up because they down here fucking with the timelines. You see what I'm saying? So they fucking with the timelines, kidnapping starseeds and shit, and trying to snatch them out of what they originally came here to do. They snatched them out of timelines. That's a breach. That's a complete and utter violation. What's up, Marjorie? That's a complete and utter violation of their their soul rights. You see what I'm saying? While they're down here. So, that that because they've been doing it since I think as early as I know, it's the 80s, 90s. You know, the pendulum swung, and now they created these consequences where these beings come down early. You see what I'm saying? They starting to pour it in early, 20 to 30 years earlier than they expected. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you got going on here. That's what you got going on here. So since they warring with our futuristic protectors, them Anunnaki warriors, them Anunnaki monsters that they are so afraid of because they brought that shit on themselves. That's what they get for fucking with futuristic technology and fucking with timelines and shit like that. Now they've brought hell to their doorstep, and now they open up their Pandora's box, and they don't know how to stop it. You see what I'm saying? They don't know how to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? So, so-called World War III, the war with Iran and all that. Nah, in actuality, that's a distraction. Behind closed doors, they're preparing to go to war with these Anunnakis. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's getting together now to this cabal system is getting together to war with each other. So that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. That's what's happening in this situation. And you know, they start in the east, taking back their home, Sumeria, Africa, or ancient Nubia, as it was originally known as. And they're going to make their way west eventually. You see what I'm saying? So they know this. So what they're trying to do over here is fake a stage of fake alien invasion, so that they can make you part of their team. You see what I'm saying? But in actuality, I haven't seen an alien roll through the hood yet fucking shit up here. I've seen the corrupt cops and all this other shit. You know, motherfuckers rolling through the hood fucking shit up. And I haven't seen fucking E.T. or Annunaki or anything roll through this bitch fucking shit up yet. So, yeah. So they're clearly they're more of our enemies than any E.T. will ever be. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. So them Anunnaki monsters are back. They fucking shit up, and they making their way to the west. You see what I'm saying? The journey to the west. They started in the east, went back home to their homeland, Sumeria, and they're working to clear that shit out. You see what I'm saying? Because they getting their asses kicked over there. Russia and all the motherfuckers getting their asses kicked. You see what I'm saying? Half of Russia's male population is gone due to this 7-year war. Because they've been warring since like 2012, 2013, y'all. So what is 2020? So we talking about 7 or 8 years? So 7 or 8 years they've been warring? Yeah. Because I think it's either somewhere between 2010 and 2012 they kicked off this war. So 8 to 10 years, almost a decade of them fighting the Anunnaki, and now half their population is missing because they didn't send the civilians in the war now and trying to train them up. See what I'm saying? They trying to enlist the aid of the U.S. government now because you know they're running low on manpower. So that's what's going on over there. That's why they're getting their asses kicked because they've been fucking with the timelines, and now judgment has come to their doorstep early due to them messing with these timelines. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on in the current, as far as current affairs. Now, let us talk about in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? Now we know why the present is like it is. Let's talk about the past a little bit and how and what happened here as far as this Sumerian energy. You see what I'm saying? Well, let me tell y'all, the Sumerian energy was usurped. You see what I'm saying? It was usurped because they hired this Jewish agent by the name of Zechariah Sitchin to drop these sciences and corrupt the Sumerian teachings. You see what I'm saying? The Sumerian teachings. So they hired him to do this and make all these books or whatever to take you away from the original myths. You see what I'm saying? Take you away from the original myths. You see what I'm saying? But in actuality, they did this because the homies, Dr. Deborah Blair, Dr. York, and all of them have been talking about the fucking Anunnaki since the 60s. So that's why they had to come in and shut down their energy before the prophesied time of their return, of our return, because we are also the Anunnaki. You see what I'm saying? We are the Anunnaki who decided to incarnate down here at this time and retake our planet by raising spiritual awareness all over the planet. You see what I'm saying? Because it starts here in the Northwest. You see what I'm saying? It said the prophecy was the resurrection of the dead will happen in the Northwest, and their resurrection will project all over the planet, causing a mass planetary resurrection, which we call the Great Awakening. You see what I'm saying? So that prophecy has been happening for some time, ongoing, pending. So, they usurped the Sumerian myths when they seen we were talking about it, and we were showing our people in the 60s, 70s, 80s, all that time, what the Anunnaki energy was, what that Sumerian energy was. So they brought in Zechariah section in, I think, the 70s or the 80s. I forget when he popped up. But it was long after the black man, woman, and child had been talking about the Anunnaki. You see what I'm saying? It was long after that. So, when they popularized it with Zechariah Sitchin's information, which was corrupt, that then later on they would launch a campaign against the Anunnaki to shut down the frequency. You see what I'm saying? So when they launched this campaign, literally they started launching the campaign around 2012, 2013, which was the same time, ironically, that Vladimir Putin, Russia now went to war with the Anunnakis. You see what I'm saying? Now you see how this lining up. They went to war with them, so they started slandering them on the internet, and people started believing them. You see what I'm saying? Because they having a hard time accepting that these are black guys and goddesses. You see what I'm saying? Even though they have all the history in the world saying otherwise. You see what I'm saying? That these black guys and goddesses existed. So, and they told you that they would come back during the end times to take their shit back. You see what I'm saying? So here we go. Here we are. We back. The Starseeds, the Jedi have returned to put in work and resolve the conflicts on this planet once and for all. So let's get into it. In the original Sumerian mythos, the story started off with Abzu and Tiamat, which were primordial deities. You see what I'm saying? Abzu represented the primordial fresh water, and Tiamat represented the primordial salt water. So it was the primordial unconsciousness, which is the original primal energies of existence. And then you had salt water, which was the primal subconscious, the alchemical. You see what I'm saying? The alchemical frequencies that went out of the subconscious and started creating the quantum world. You see what I'm saying? That's what the subconscious does. It creates the quantum world, the quantum particles. You see what I'm saying? So these primordial deities would do what? They would have children. Who would be their firstborns? They would have Lamu and Lahamu. Now, it's funny, Lahamu, they tell you, is both a serpent and a woman. So we're talking about this, the introduction of the serpent children in the second generation of the Anunnaki. So they are literally the original Nagas / starseeds, the first starseeds. You see what I'm saying? Because they said Lamu is the first star. You see what I'm saying? In the original teachings, he was the first star. So that means since he was the first star, he was the first soul, the first star or soul seed. You see what I'm saying? Star seed. So, and Lamu, the serpent goddess, they married together and would produce the next generation. You see what I'm saying? So this was the introduction of the Nagas. You see what I'm saying? The original star lords, as they said, the original star lords of the planet. You see what I'm saying? So they would then get together and have children, and then they would produce Ansha and Kisha. This would be the third generation. Now, I call them, they're equivalent to the elder gods, but I call them the Naganaki. You see what I'm saying? The Naganaki. That third generation of serpent warriors, guys that had already been on the planet putting in work. Your Atlanteans, your Lemurians, ancient Nubians, ancient Sumerians, ancient Asians. You see what I'm saying? That group. The ancient Europeans, ancient Europa, ancient Australia, all that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Ancient Americas, of course, the a big one. You see what I'm saying? The Amaru dynasties. So the Italians, just a few names as you know them. So this generation of Anunnaki, they will go on to produce these powerful godlike giants and dynasties around the planet. They the ones who set up shop. Now you have the next generation in the original southern, because you got southern Mesopotamia, and then you got Sumeria, then you got northern Sumeria. So they can only give you southern Sumeria, which I'm going over now, but I'm gonna come back with northern Sumeria, which is Hurrian mythology. What's up, Venus? What's up, little light? So which is Hurrian mythologies, and we gonna put it all together today. We're gonna put it all together. So after the third generation, which was Ansha and Kishar, they produced the next generation, which was Anu and Antu. And Anu and Antu is the original progenitors of the Anunnaki. You see what I'm saying? Anunnaki, them Titans. They're equivalent to the Titans in Greek mythology. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And you know their story. You know, they flew on a planet called Nibiru. But the Nibiru in the original storyline literally represented the soul. You see what I'm saying? That was traveling through the cosmos, learning, growing, experiencing, acquiring cosmic wealth, knowledge, and power. You see what I'm saying? So this was going on. This was going on. Now, they always give you this story that the atmosphere was damaged. You see what I'm saying? Why is the atmosphere damaged in all these stories? You see what I'm saying? Of the planet. The atmosphere is the bioelectromagnetic field of the soul, which is your outer aura. You see what I'm saying? Now you need a little Gnostic teachings to understand why those atmospheres are damaged. And the reason why is archons or Yaldabaoth and the demiurge, the celestial vampires are sucking are feeding on your bioelectromagnetic field while you're in the material world, the material dimension. You see what I'm saying? That's what's going on. That's why they needed to repair their atmosphere so much. You see what I'm saying? They needed gold. They needed God consciousness to repair it. You see what I'm saying? They telling you what it is. We need gold. Gold, if you drop the L, is God consciousness. It's alchemical. It's not physical gold. It's spiritual gold. You see what I'm saying? Internal alchemical gold. That you need to be up here now and above. You see what I'm saying? With your consciousness. Because that's how you heal the bioelectromagnetic field of your soul, because these fucking archons can only feed off you if you're vibrating on their extra low frequencies. You see what I'm saying? Or the red rays that they always show you in the stories. So that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. Then the next generation, which would be the Igigi. You see what I'm saying? The watchers, the observers. Now that's when ancient Egypt, that's the ancient Egypt, latter day ancient America, latter day ancient Sumeria. You see what I'm saying? That's when they come into play. Y'all know them as the Nephilim in the Bible. And what they said in the Bible, they said that they in chapter 6 of Genesis, they said that the Nephilim was heroes of old and warriors of renown. You see what I'm saying? Heroes of old and warriors of renown, which is true. We can just look back in previous history to see what type of warriors and masters and chemists and alchemists and magicians those warriors of old and heroes of renown were. Because they were just on the planet like 2,000 years ago. And you see what I'm saying? And they tell you in the Anunnaki story that the Igigi were the first slaves. You see what I'm saying? Well, the Anunnaki were actually the first slaves when they got to the planet Earth. You see what I'm saying? So what's up with this slave energy? You see what I'm saying? You what's up with this slave energy? You always seeing this in this story. But we don't understand that slave meant something different to the ancients. We're not talking about fucking niggas with pickaxes out here plowing the earth, goddamn, singing old Negro spirituals. Nah, that's not what we talking about. Slave to the ancients meant the physical body, the apparatus, because the physical body, that biosuit, is way more is compromised because it obeys the laws of the material world. The Anunnaki, which is your higher selves, your souls, the true ones, it does not obey the laws of the physical world because it's older than the material world in Yaldabaoth's dimension, the Amentian realm. It's older than that. So that's why only the outer electromagnetic field was fucked up on Nibiru, because they could only suck up the outer energies of the planet, but they couldn't touch the internal soul, the divine spark of Nibiru. You see what I'm saying? They couldn't touch that. That was off limits. That was forbidden. That's why they down there in the undergrounds trying to replicate soul, because soul is the most powerful shit in existence. Melanin and soul is the most powerful things in existence, and they know this. And so they're trying to replicate melanin and soul, and they're catching hell doing it. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on here. Now, the Anunnaki, they mining for gold on Earth. Because they incarnate down here on the physical, and they find out they are slaves, because this apparatus, this biosuit they created to operate down here is being fed on by the archons, by Yaldabaoth. You see what I'm saying? The demiurge and his celestial vampires. So what they had to do, they had to mine for gold, high levels of God consciousness. But what they had to do, so they had to plow the earth. But earth means heart. You see what I'm saying? Earth means the heart chakra. So they was plowing and digging into their heart chakra, their heart soul. You see what I'm saying? That's why they came to Earth of all the planets. They came to the heart to find that soul, high levels of that soul wisdom that was inside of them, right? So that's what's going on here. So they plow on the earth, and then they gain. That's what it means to mine, by the way, to seek, to search, to dig, to acquire something. That's what it means to mine. They're mining, looking deeper into their meditations, trying to find, tapping into their soul wisdom so they can get the hell off this fucking frequency. You see what I'm saying? This arcane frequency that the planet is on. So they figure it out, and they get upset, and they rebel because they don't want to do this shit no more. They rebel against this matrix. So what? They created the next generation of beings, which means their children, basically, the Igigi, watchers. So the Igigi, the watchers, the observers, the ancient Egyptians and all of them, those are equivalent to the Igigis, the Nephilim. They come down here. They get, those next generations, they come in and they do their thing. But see, they are watchers now. They are observers. They see what their parents went through. So they said, we going to record that shit. And that's where you got the pyramids and the hieroglyphs from. We going to show our ancestors, our descendants, our processors, we going to show them what our ancestors had to find out the hard way, that there are beings down here feeding off of. This is a planetary restaurant. So we going to make a digital hologram or artistic rendition of our perceptions of what's going on in this world, on this dimension, or this material dimension, this material realm. You see what I'm saying? That's what so that's why all these pyramids popped up, and they started, because the pyramids were schools. That's what they taught in. Also, they were electromagnetic enhancers of the spiritual and soul bodies and your mind. You see what I'm saying? So, and because the mind, spirit, and soul was in order, the body got in order, and they raised their frequency. It said that the Igigi also mined for gold, and once they got it, once they realized it, once they realized what the fuck was going on, guess what? They rebelled against the matrix. Once they had gained enough knowledge, spiritual knowledge and power, they rebelled against the matrix like we doing today. And they was like, all right, Anunnaki, we get it. Because they talking to their higher selves now. All right, we get this shit now. All right, we ready to go. So they ascended back to their Anunnaki selves at the end of the ages. You see what I'm saying? So the ancient Egyptian paradigm lasts for about 50,000 to 100,000 years. You see what I'm saying? So The last of the ancient Egyptians and the Igigi watchers ascended out of here at the end of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aries. You see what I'm saying? The age of Aries. Because then you enter the age of Pisces, which is a whole other animal for itself. In the age of Pisces, the few that were left, the few ancient Egyptians, everybody who were left down here to put up with this shit, the few Igigi that decided to stay down here to carry the cross. Because now, before Christos, has now become Amino Domini after the fact. You see what I'm saying? After dominion, after domination. You see what I'm saying? So we shift from the old Aryan age to the age of Christ, or the age of sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Christos energy was so powerful during the Piscean age. You see what I'm saying? And so what was produced because of that? The next generation of beings who would rise up are literally humans. You see what I'm saying? That's what they were transforming into. That's what the last of the Igigi would transform into. They would transform into humans. And what do humans represent? They represent the demigods, because most humans are either in a partial to half conscious state when they're born, but through all the turmoil and hell they go through, they fall into a deep unconscious state, or the zombie consciousness, as we call it. So that's what's going on here. Those are the generational events. So that's what happened here. You see what I'm saying? That's what happened. Well, now, how did all this start? There's another storyline. That's the southern storyline. You see what I'm saying? Of what really happened. Now, if you go to the north, you start to see the alchemy of what they was doing. Because now they introduced another god by the name of Alalu and his wife, Ansha. You see what I'm saying? Or Ki, as she's just simply called. Now, Alalu is in Hurrian mythology, which is northern Sumeria. In Hurrian mythology, Alalu and Ansha are equivalent to Tiamat and Apsu, right? Now, in the Babylonian Enuma Elish, they tell the story of how these rogue gods got together and killed Apsu. And so Tiamat snapped, and she produced her next generation of children, which were the dragon race, the dragon king. You see what I'm saying? They said monsters, but they were, but some say monsters. Some stories said monsters, and others said dragons. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna go with what they motherfuckers just called. They called it the dragon race. You see what I'm saying? Now, this dragon race had 11 generals. You see what I'm saying? In the storyline. So these 11 generals, along with Tiamat, who was a dragon herself, the dragon force, made up the 12 tribes. You see what I'm saying? The 12 dragon tribes. You see what I'm saying? So that's where you get this 12 tribes of Israel, 12 tribes of Ishmael from. It comes from this dynasty, the dragon dynasty. That's what this energy represents. Now, you got that going on, and then you got Abzu, and then you got Alalu. Now, who is Alalu? Alalu is the Hurrian equivalent of Tiamat and Abzu, right? So what's going on here? Tiamat and Abzu are being killed, and so the torch gets passed to Alalu. You see what I'm saying? The original master of the universe. Now, if Alalu is the original master of the universe, Ansha or Ki is the key of the universe. Because if the male masculine principle is the master of the universe, then the female principle is the universe. That's why she has the keys to the universe. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? You always got to go through the goddess, the mother, the gift of the goddess has to be given so that you can absorb this dragon energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. So this is what's happening in Hurrian mythology. So it tells a story of how Alalu was the original ruler of Nibiru before Anu. Now, this is where the alchemy comes in. Alalu, the Dragon King, because he's a dragon king. A Dragon King here is actually the Dragon King is actually he came up with an idea. He said, I have a daughter that he produced with Anshar by the name of Domkina. And so I'm gonna let her marry Enki, who is, we all know the genius scientist himself. So his dragon princess, who will become the dragon queen later, marries Enki, right? Makes sense, right? So now the Naganaki, the Anunnaki, produce another generation of beings known as the Dragonaki. You see what I'm saying? That's what the secrets of this is. The Dragonaki. The Dragon King, the dragon blood fuses with the Anunnaki bloodline to produce this powerful lineage of dragons. You see what I'm saying? They have, because the dragons, known, which Mother Tia might call the children of venom. What is venom? Venom is melanin. Concentrated raw power. And if you know anything about raw power is those who are born with innate, internal, supernatural gifts with particular aspects of themselves. You see what I'm saying? Those aspects within them are highly developed by nature. They're born with that. That's what it means to be have that raw power. So the children of venom fuse with the children of the sun, because they was flesh and blood too. They was fused with the children of the sun. You see what I'm saying? The Anunnaki. And so these two bloodlines came together because they already had serpent energy due to their ancestors, the Naganaki and the Nagas, passing their genetics on down. So now they Enki and Domkina fused together to produce a powerful lineage. You see what I'm saying? A powerful lineage. Now what happened with Alalu? He lost to Anu after 9 days or 9,000 years of rulership. The torch was passed to Anu, and he ruled for 9,000 years, so on and so forth. That's usually the original case. You see what I'm saying? That's usually the original case. He was banished to Mars, the root chakra, after he lost his fight, and then he died because he was mortal. You see what I'm saying? Same old shit. But not before he produced this apple. Now, this is where the story of Noah comes in. You see what I'm saying? This is where the story of Noah comes in. The story of Noah is so fucking powerful because Enki and Domkina get together and warn Noah, who is part of their Dragonaki bloodline, of the flood, the incoming flood, which washes away all other bloodlines. So the Anunnaki killed off their bloodlines in that sense, and the only bloodline that was left are the Dragonaki. So the Dragonaki bloodline, you see what I'm saying? So they will go on to reseed the earth. You see what I'm saying? Reseed the heart chakra. So literally us today, we are the modern day representatives of the Dragonaki energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. So this alchemy continued all the way up into the age of Aries before we was invaded by these archons and and their AI technology. You see what I'm saying? I have to decline it. Yeah, before they was invaded by this Anunnaki energy. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. So yeah, we was invaded by this Anunnaki energy. We kind of went into a down cycle about 10,000 years ago because of this energy. You see what I'm saying? We went into a down cycle because of this energy. So because these archons start fucking with our reality. And that's why the Watchers, the Igigi, wrote so diligently and religiously during their cycles. And that's why they haven't been able to destroy the pyramids, because they enchanted them motherfuckers. You can't destroy these. We left this for our descendants for when they come out of this hellhole. Because when we was interrupted by the motherfuckers and lost the war against them, the second war, the first war we whooped their asses. But the second war, when they brought 1 million ships to the planet to fuck us up, we guess what we did? We lost the war The first war we whooped their ass. Second war when they brought a million ships and started attacking the planet itself. That's how we failed. That's what shocked us. So, what happens next? What happens next, y'all? The most important shit happens next. We fell out of power, and we had to start dealing with a new alchemy, which is through the principle of sacrifice, we created beauty from pain, which is what we've been dealing with for these last 2,000 years. See what I'm saying? The age of Pisces. Dealing with this alchemy. This alchemy just ended on September 22nd, with the end of the 400 year, the 400 year curse, as we call it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. That's what's going on. So now the Anunnaki are rising again. The first Nagas and dragons of the aeons, they became the last sleeping gods, have now awoken again. Power. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So this is what's happening here. So that was the action that they did, and they passed that on to us. And now we are reactivating those Anunnaki memories and Anunnaki powers inside of us. So now we got the raw power of the Anunnaki and the soulful power of the Anunnaki, the raw power of the Dragon King and the soulful power for the Anunnaki, combined with the serpent wisdom of the Nagas, fused into one energy. Plus the alchemy we just went through in the age of Pisces. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Plus the alchemy we just went through in the age of Pisces. You see what I'm saying? That beauty from pain alchemy through the principle of sacrifice. So you got all that plus this, and now we're ready to. It's our time to rise up and rebel against the system. Rebel against the system of of these motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? Rebel against this system, like the Igigi did, like the Anunnaki did when they found out down here on Mother Earth. You see what I'm saying? And so unlike our ancestors, we're going to complete the alchemy and free Mother Earth from this hellacious dimension which she's had to deal with for the past 150,000, 300,000 years. Ever since these motherfucking archons, during the war with the motherfuckers, the first war, we lost our ability to travel, out of the material world for a while. And that's when they came back during the second war and fucked us up. See what I'm saying? 'Cause we used to, the stories where they used to ride, these beings used to ride on their. We had that ability as well. Mother Earth used to be a Nibiru. You see them. A Nibiru. You see what I'm saying? We used to get travel wherever the fuck we want to in the cosmos. And we were traveling guides who just checked up on different spheres of consciousness, and we created and destroyed what needed to be created and destroyed and organized. You see what I'm saying? That was our job as traveling guides. When we got down here to the fucking material world, we found out what was really going on. What the hell was really going on down here. You see what I'm saying? And that's when we went to war with the motherfuckers. First war, we kicked their asses, they retreated. When it fucking gathered their forces all around the material world, and then the second war, they brought 1 million ships to fuck us up. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And now the return of the Anunnaki. That's why the dragons have returned. That's why the Anunnaki have returned, because they know. That's why the Nagas, the serpent gods, have returned, because they know all those energies live inside you now. Plus whatever alchemist you just went through in the last 400 years. You see what I'm saying? The last 2,000 years period of Piscean energy. So that's what's going on here. These are the Annunaki truths. You see what I'm saying? This was happening. You see what I'm saying? This was happening here. So there y'all go. I gotta get up out of here. Some came up, but I would love to take questions, but you know how that is. Shit happens in the physical world. So I will talk to y'all later. I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out, and I'm out. Peace.